Hi, welcome. We're just getting ready to start the YouTube live stream, and we're doing a collective reading. So I'm going to change what this says here to collective Halloween. Whoops. Reading. Okay, here we go. Done. Okay, there we go. So we're going to start doing a collective reading. I had an idea to do an ancestor reading because the veil is thin and I thought it would be fun. So we're going to do what your ancestors think of you, who they want you to be in a connection or a relationship with, and what they want you to do with your gifts and talents. So I'm going to do that reading, and I'm going to live stream it to YouTube, so it will be there if you don't have an opportunity to watch the entire thing here on TikTok today. So that's what we're going to be doing, and I'm going to start it right now. So let's get going. Hello, happy Halloween, blessed Samhain. It is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned In Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the divine masculine and divine feminine energy inside of ourselves, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change happen in our lives, we do need to shift and change with that energy. So I'm doing a special reading today. What are your ancestors thinking of you? What do they see when they see you? Like, how do you appear to them? We're going to look at how they see you and perceive you. Then we're going to look at who they think you should be and get a connection with, which I really love. And then the final placement is how they think you should be using your gifts and talents. Now remember, these are your ancestors, right? The veil is thin, and we're going to call that energy in. If I see or get any feelings, like in terms of mediumship, I will let you know. This is a safe space to feel all of your feelings, and you are protected here. So don't fear that energy that comes through. But just remember, these are ancestors, so their guidance is going to be, like your mom is your ancestor, right? Like, like your aunt. Like, think about the kind of advice you get from them. It might not be the advice you want to hear. It might not even be the advice that you think is the correct advice, but primarily just, receive the energy and take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Use your own judgments, okay? But we're going to start by cleansing and preparing the space and inviting my guides, angels, and protectors to come through. I've got this beautiful incense. I got to go recently. I did a group event near Boston. It was a few hours away from Boston. So I took the opportunity to visit my son, who lives in the Boston area, with his dad, and he goes to like this special trade school automotive thing that he really loves because he's always wanted to do automotive design, and he has this new car that he bought himself. And so I went on this really fun trip, and while I was there, I got to go to Salem on Friday night, and I got to go to the Cauldron Black, which is probably one of my favorite little shops in Salem to get incense or crystals or tarot decks and books. They have very amazing selection of books, and when I generate the abundance that I know I'm capable of generating in the next few months, I will be back and I'm going to go buy some of those books because I want my library to contain those. They're rare books, like very, very cool ones from the medieval period and stuff. I'm just trying to think. Okay. So we've got our incense, and we're also going to light a candle. So I got a new deck to share with you. And we're trying to get in touch with the creator of the deck because it's brand new. And I don't think I've seen it anywhere else. I also got this while I was in Massachusetts. It was at a small shop. Oh no, I'm forgetting the name. Fox Run or something. And this deck is my dream deck. It's an oracle deck. If you know me, you know that I love the 18th century. And this deck is called Unlocking the Secret Garden. And it's just one of the most beautiful decks ever. I'm so excited to hang out with you all. I haven't been doing live streams in a minute, so I'm really excited to be here. It's kind of an odd time for me. This is usually my day off. I wasn't really expecting a big crowd. I was just really kind of expecting to be able to give you this reading that will hopefully make you smile, maybe bring in some healing energy for you. And we'll just see who comes through in the reading. Okay. One more thing. We're almost done. Let me just do a little smoke cleansing here. This is also from the Cauldron Black, which I trust because, I think I need to get a lighter soon. Ethically sourced crystals. The pricing structure, very, very, very good. Definitely go there if you're in Salem. And definitely go check Salem out. Not just at October. It's very cool, but it's all year round. Really cool. Honestly, my favorite day for Salem could possibly be 4th of July. Because they have like, they usually take the Freedom Ship and then they have an orchestra playing the 1812 and they have cannons and shit. It's like intense. Okay. Let's get into it. We're going to start with Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot. I thought this would be a good place to start. Aleister Crowley is so Halloween, and we're going to look at what your ancestors think of you, how they see you, their any kind of messages that might come through. And we're just going to pull a few cards from this deck to talk about that. Then we will use my ancestors, the Pasta Tarot, to see who they want you to be with. I felt like the Italian matchmaking grandma ancestor energy coming from this, but insert your family heritage in there, the matchmaker energy. So who do they want you to be? Who do they think you should be with? Do they think the person that you're with is the right person? We're going to ask all kinds of juicy questions like that. This is going to be a really fun reading today. If you can't stay for the whole thing, it is streaming live to YouTube, so you will be able to catch the whole thing later, and I'm hoping that I picked a time of day where the signal is going to be nice and strong. The third and final deck, this is actually probably going to be the most important part of the reading, and this is going to be what they think you should do with your gifts and talents. And the reason why it's important is because it's going to, first of all, remind you of how they see you and what they see your gifts and talents are, and also it's kind of a way to check, am I there? And then we're going to pull one from my new deck that I was sharing with you. We're going to pull a card from that deck, and we're going to pull a card from my Samhain Oracle today. So let's get started with Aleister Crowley. Also, by the way, this is Godfrey Dowson's deck. Both of these creators were part of the Order of the Golden Dawn. And there's two other decks. The one that you may know, of course, most commonly the Smith-Waite deck. And the third one, I can't think of what it's called. I just saw it the other day, too. All right, so let's have your ancestors come through. Anybody that's feeling that they want to come through for this reading. And just share, what do they think of you and how do they see you? And what kind of feelings do they have regarding you? So let's do, what do they think of you? How do they see you? Ooh, I have so much crown chakra energy. And what feelings do they have toward you? And we're gonna give them a chance. They wanted to say that was definitely they want to say so much, but they're only allowed to have one card. So they wanted me to remind you they have very many feelings, but there's only room for a little bit here. Then we'll ask them if they want to give us any messages with the Rumi deck so that they can speak directly to us. So there'll be 3 oracles at the end. All right. So first of all, what do they think of you right now? What do they think of you? We've got the Knight of Swords. So definitely this is an energy of them thinking that you are sometimes reckless. And you might you want to rush things. They're definitely, of course, that's what your ancestors are going to think. You're rushing everything. You need to enjoy life more. It's going to go so fast. Okay, that's a very, very common feeling from a lot of ancestors. Also, they see you as somebody that's definitely, or they think of you as somebody that is a thinker. You strategize, you follow a plan. Maybe you don't even think of yourself this way, but they think of you this way because there's this sort of sensation of I was even more reckless than you. I wasted even more time than you've wasted. That's definitely coming through. They definitely think of you as somebody that's in your integrity, and that you're charging forward in your life. They think of you as somebody who is, has that ability to actually be a strong communicator, although sometimes you don't step up and do that. And there is that, they want to urge you. There's this urge to just play to your strengths in your life and understand that one of your strengths is communication, even if you don't see it that way. Maybe the way that you withhold communication at times is a sign that you actually are a skilled communicator, because you understand that you have to allow certain information to come in. How they see you right now, we see this very interesting energy here of the 4 of Swords. This is the energy of being at rest and just having faith and healing. So they see you as healing. They see you as having been going through a period of rest. They see you as having maybe come to a peaceful place in regards to the grief or loss of them not being present here with you in the way that, in the physical reality. They see you praying. This is another thing they see, because the 4 of Swords is to pray. So they see you praying. So when you're praying, it's like they're saying, I see you. I see how hard you're working. I see when you're praying and when you're turning to your higher self and when you're showing that you have faith. That is seen. This is very interesting amount of air energy, because we are talking to the ethereal plane right now, right? We're behind the veil, and we're getting that passing of the spiritual into thought, because I'm trying to take something that's most of the time just sort of swirling around us. It's the energy of our ancestry. It's the light that's in our DNA. It's all the codes that are within us. And I'm trying to articulate that and make it something that you can hear and communicate. So it's very interesting to see those swords coming up like that. The final card is, so we saw the first one was, what do they think of you? How do they see you? And the final is, what feelings do they have? And this was where they were telling me that only being able to say one thing was very limiting. So what they're doing here is emphasizing the first thought they had. So the way that they were thinking of you was that you're rushing things. And the way that they're feeling right now is that you are rushing things. You want things to go too fast. They also want you to know that they feel very passionately for you too. They are passionate about your journey and where you're going in life. And they do see that you find it difficult to sustain that passion. And so this seeing you, the sound is muffled. Good to know. I don't know what I can do about it because I don't have many options. Let me try turning the volume down on this and see if that helps. Hopefully that's better, Connie. Thank you for letting me know that. If you have TikTok, I'm also live streaming to TikTok, and I'm hoping that the sound on TikTok is better than it is over here. So they feel that they do see that it is difficult for you to sustain sustain your passion, and they want you to know that they are helping to keep that fire burning, so that when your energy is flagging, they are helping to keep this fire burning. Now, as a person, like I said, they see you as somebody with integrity who follows their passion, who is a leader. You charge forward in your life. They feel very strongly that they want you to not rush so much. And they see you and hear you when you are praying. So when you include them in your rituals, when you're focused on them, when your energy is going towards them, they're saying, I see you and I hear you. All right, now let's get to this part. This is the matchmaker. So I'm sure there's one of them in your family line, and we're going to ask the wisest of all the matchmakers in your line, because we do not want somebody who is just trying to further their genetic agenda. We want an energy of someone that really truly is gifted at knowing who is best for someone else, or just being able to see those connections so clearly. This would probably be somebody who was a healer, a witch, somebody that channeled similar energy, because they need to know and understand human nature in order to truly appreciate this energy. So let's see. Let's ask, for those of you that are single, we're going to get a message. And for those of you that are in separation, in a connection, so single with no expectations of who's coming in. And then we're going to do single in separation with hopes for someone to return. We're going to do also those of you that are in a current connection. And then we're going to add this other layer here, and we're going to say 2 options coming in for the single that are having no expectations. And we're going to say 2 options for those that are waiting for a return, being the one that returns and the one that is coming in. And then the final is for those of you in a connection, we're going to get an energy of, do I stay or do I go? And the go is implying the new connection, if that is my choice, or if I choose to remain alone for a time. So, matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match, find me a find, catch me a catch. Okay, so let's see here. What does your matchmaking ancestor think for those of you that are completely single with no expectations? And you can count yourself in any of these piles, by the way. You can be in more than one if you like. It's up to you. So the first position, no expectations. What is your matchmaker ancestor saying to you right now about this energy? Okay, we've got the sun here that's shining brightly, but it was in reverse. Okay, so there is this very wise energy of saying, listen, before you have this connection, I want you to just make sure you understand, because this is a major life lesson, that it is not the connection that makes you happy. It is happiness that brings you a connection. That is the first thing you must understand if you're single with no expectations right now. That's the biggest lesson for you. This connection that's coming is not going to make you happy, but you being happy, you playing, having a good time, tapping into your joy, tapping into your youth and your childhood, that is what is really truly going to make you happy. Now you have 2 options coming in. The first option is worthy of you, Queen of Minuta, or the Queen of Pentacles. And the second option, the 5 of Cups, is disappointing. I was waiting for the saltiness. Here it is. First option, worthy of you. Second option, disappointing. Not going to be able to fulfill your needs. Not going to be somebody that is going to be able to actually bring about that Two of Cups that you're seeking. So you need to be very careful. You need to be very discerning. You need to remember that as long as you are feeling good, how you feel must be the most important thing. You have to care about how you feel. That is the most important thing. And the Sun coming out, this is the other message here, is that you might be a little bit thinking too good to be true when you see this energy come in, because it's so much like you and you're like, no, we like that, you like that, you like this is that, this is good, you did this is this, really? That may be a little bit too good to be true to you. You need to remain optimistic. Do not let yourself be swayed by your old self-concept and thinking that the other shoe is going to drop. This time is the last time, I'm being told. This one that's coming in for sure is going to be the best one, because you have fully embraced that lesson that you make yourself happy in your Queen of Pentacles energy, and you will get something that will be a lot more satisfying to you. Okay? So that is awesome. And those are stuffed shells. I do love some stuffed shells. Yummy. Okay. So that's for those of you that were single with no expectation of anybody. You weren't waiting for someone specific to return. You're just like, I'm completely open. That was that. This position is those of you that are in separation from somebody that you are hoping would return. And we're getting this advice from your matchmaking ancestor, the wisest one, though, not the one with that's totally just in a genetic agenda type situation, but one that is truly your wisest ancestor. Okay. And we're looking at two options, because we're going to look at the potential return of that person, or a new person if that is a better situation for you. This is what your matchmaking ancestor thinks. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. This is all of the food. This is definitely a wedding or an event, a banquet. This is a banquet, okay? Everyone's together, the whole family. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, a once in a lifetime chance. And it is just amazing. But this is definitely somebody that you've experienced cycles with. Look at how this ancestor has pulled in the Sun card for the first group. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune. If this other one is going to be a major arcana, I'm just going to be like, okay, because for each one it's like, this is a major lesson for you. So you have to learn some significant lessons surrounding changes, because when this person returns, things are changing, right? Obviously, if they're returning, they're coming back, it's going to be different, because they wouldn't have left, or you would be together already if it was the way it was supposed to be. So this is what your biggest lesson is in regards to this situation. Now, let's see. The person coming back right now, according to this very wise matchmaker ancestor of yours, is this returning person one of this, what do you think of this option? Basically, we're like, what do you think of this option? And your ancestor is like, there's a lot to offer there. Ace of Pentacles. They do want to grow something long term. There is something pretty significant about what they have to offer here. And they do want to plant something and grow. So I like that. But I am telling you right now, it's going to take work. Because Ace of Pentacles for me is, we are starting something and we are growing it. So yeah, I see this person returning, but it is going to take work to till this soil and grow this into this fortune, because this is a great big fortune. Now, that's one option, okay? Let's look at your other option. Let me see, because everybody gets like two opportunities here. What's the second option? Oh, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. We're a little further along. This option is a little further along the path. It's coming in and it's not starting out as like just this seed. This is actually somebody that you've already invested time and energy into. So the second option may be another person that you might not be, you might have had one person in mind here, and it might be a new thing that this, it's interesting because I said the person returning. So there's a person returning to you that is somebody that you will have to start fresh with in a way. Like you haven't really built anything in the material. You've made no material investment with that person. But there is a potential option, somebody that you maybe have invested in. So this could have been a friendship. It could have been another past partner. Like there could be two exes. But I'm not seeing that this second option is someone brand new. For me, this is somebody that you want them to come back into your life, but you never actually started a relationship with them. And this is somebody that you might have actually had something with them. So they're seeing both of those options. Now, I'm seeing that you would be successful with either one of these choices. And I'm getting very much, it's up to you. Do you want to build something new with this person that you've never had any experiences with in the real world? Or do you want to see this investment pay off and finally bring this into its fulfillment? So that's kind of interesting. And I have this feeling that the answer to this, the people that are waiting for the return, it's really going to come from you changing something about how you think or operate right now. The final position for this matchmaking ancestor is the group of people who are currently in a relationship. I shit you not, I'm holding a major arcana card in my hand, making that all three of the cards I pulled for each group major significant energy. Okay, so this group is a group that is trying to decide, I've been in a connection, in connection with somebody. Do I remain in this connection or do I go? And if I do go, is there a new option coming for me, or is this a time of being on my own? Okay. Now, as I said in the beginning, you can consider yourself in every one of these piles, because there's times when you maybe think, you know what, I'm totally open. I have no expectations of someone coming back. If you found yourself there, listen to pile 1 again. If you find yourself waiting for somebody to return, listen to pile 2. And if you are in either one of those two places, but you have kind of considered yourself like in almost monogamous because you think about only one person, that could feel like you are in some kind of a connection, that you're in this place where should you stay just sort of in your heart with this person, or should you go? So this can be a real physical relationship, or almost like you haven't released someone yet and you're like, should I stay just sort of devoted to this person I haven't released, or should I go? So your matchmaking ancestor, the wisest one, and I keep saying that because there may be people joining the live stream. So I just want to make sure that you know that it's not the ones that are going to be like trying to just further the agenda of your genetic heritage, but actually the ancestor that would have been the most gifted in helping bring people together and growing the family and the legacy. And oh, thank you so much for saying you love my content. I really appreciate that. So basically we have this final position of, do I stay or do I go? Your ancestor is saying you are in a incredible connection. We've got a major arcana card for balancing of the masculine and feminine energy. But I was standing in the driveway today with my 2 dogs, one white dog and one brown dog on either side of me. And I thought, oh, I'm in the chariot energy. And I halted them. I wasn't letting them move forward. So I'm getting this sensation from this image today, a sensation of feeling like things have been halted and there is no movement forward. And there is something about this lesson that's been very hard for you, and your ancestor is acknowledging this, but it has been very powerful. Now, this first option is, do I stay? The second option is, do I go? And if I go, is there someone new, or is this a period of solitude for now? For do I stay, I'm getting a very interesting response. I'm getting the World card. And the World card is a yes for me. When I get a major arcana, it's a yes, but there's always a major lesson to be learned in the process. The fact that it was in reverse is showing me, yes, you should stay if you want to repeat the cycle and try again. But only do that if you truly believe that this time is the last time. If you think that you're just going to keep having this happen over and over again, do not stay. In fact, you will regret that decision, and I rarely say that. Regret, though, is not like you can't change it. It's just you will regret that decision. If you stay and know you're going to just keep repeating and repeating because you haven't made any changes yourself, that it is what it is. But if you fully believe that this is the last time that this will happen because you are changed, because you are different, because you don't repeat the same cycles. And if you don't repeat the same cycles, and if you are completely new and completely transformed, there is absolutely no way that this person will not also be so. So if you fully believe that, stay and watch everything turn around and all the pieces come together, and focus on building the world that you dreamed of. But if you do not think that this is the last time around, then do not stay right now. If you are in that category and you choose, okay, I'm not going to stay, and you choose to go, we have here the 9 of Cups. This is a big yes. You will be getting what you have always wanted. So in this case, when we ask, if I choose to go, will I be alone or will I get a partner? You're getting your wishes fulfilled. So if you are wishing to be alone for a while, you're going to be alone. If you wish that you could be in a better relationship, or just the relationship that you've been waiting for from this other connection, you're going to get it. So this is a win-win situation. The only lose you could get here, and it's not really a loss, but the only let's say stalling that might occur in this situation would be if you choose to stay when you know the cycle's not going to be over. If you make that choice, then you're basically choosing to wait it out. You're choosing to learn some more stuff before you're ready to go. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's not I wouldn't slap your hand. I would just say that you probably will regret it, and you'll have to reevaluate it somewhere down the road. You will receive growth, but you're going to have a feeling of like, that took longer than it needed to. So that's as a reader would not give that advice, which is how I know I am channeling matchmaker energy, because a matchmaker would say you're gonna regret it, but I don't believe that. I believe that everything is divine, and if you choose to repeat a cycle knowing that it might repeat again because you're not ready to let go, then that's where you are, and you're gonna learn from that. But whoever this is a little more old school than me, which makes perfect sense, because that is how they learned that's how their beliefs were formed. That's why I gave a caution about this reading. It is fun to do ancestor readings. It is fun to channel ancestors and connect with them. It is vital, actually, to our growth to understand and connect with our ancestors. So I am willing and happy to do it. However, they are part of our old self-concept. So when they do come in and offer things, I just want you to keep that in mind, that they are those that formed your old self-concept. And their hope and dream is that you will have a new self-concept. So you just kind of want to take their advice as wisdom and listen and absorb it. But keep in mind that, you have different experiences than they have. You have new knowledge that they didn't have, and that's actually the point. Okay, so we are in our final and most important position now. I'm sure everybody wanted the love reading the most because that is how it is, but this is the most important one, because these are the best energies to help you answer these questions.